Watch as I take Luca from this to that. So we're gonna be knocking out that pick right there on this head right here. Stay tuned, my friends. It's gonna be a dope show. We have nothing but cool curls and nothing but fun breakdowns, so stay with us. To start my sloping halo, what a halo is basically a circular or crescent-shaped sort of shape, yeah, inside the actual perimeter of the hairline. So I'm gonna take my comb, rock it across the top of his head, find the highest point, which, to be honest, I think it's about right there. So I'm gonna take my comb from the hairline, highest point is right there. I'm gonna drop that a little bit into that lower point. Flip that out of the way. And we're gonna start with the perimeter first. I'm gonna start in the back. He's got a lot of extra weight right through the base of the back here. So I'm gonna use a little, well, first of all, I'm gonna cut it at 0 degrees so I can start to build the framing of the haircut. And then I'm gonna use 90 to over direct, if not even 180 to over direct in there, just so I can really deflate all that additional density in the concave area of the back of his head. All right, and I'm gonna be busting out my arc curve shears. These are specifically made for curly hair. It's got more of a contoured blade to it. It is excellent for any sort of inside out cutting. So when I'm carving from the inside out, it's just like a hot knife through butter. It just smoothly moves right through those areas and those sections. And then when I'm building any curls, if I want to sort of rotate the shear as I'm building the lines, any type of brick cutting, it's just excellent for that. Again, I'm gonna keep the wide tooth of my comb. I'm gonna have you lean forward just for a sec there, Luca, thanks. And right now I'm seeing that just looking at the back, the sides here shrink up a lot more than the center here. And I conceptually want that convex shape to it, but I am gonna edit out a little bit in the center here. Again, the ambition and the intention is to keep as much length in here as we can. Let's see, at 0 degrees, but I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna actually work with the curl pattern. So about right there at the center of the apex of that curl. All right, so finding the apex of the curl, I'm gonna cut from the inside out and just slightly opening and closing the shears and working my way to the bottom. I want this to have a little bit more of a flatness right in the center of the back here. So I'm gonna slightly over direct each section that I'm pulling here back towards the previous section. So there is a little bit of over direction that's happening here. We have a traveling guide, but again, at the same time, there is that element of over direction. So that over direction is gonna tailor a little bit more length over the sides of the shoulder here, the back of the shoulder, I should say, and just continuing to work that until there's no more hair to cut in this left section in the back of his head. So at 0 degrees, I think I'm chill right now on that spot. I'm gonna knock out exactly, sorry about your toes. I'm gonna knock out exactly the same thing on the opposite side here. So dropping this down, 0 degrees. So swipe it up over direction, back to the previous section, traveling guide. And because I'm cutting from the inside out, it's not only establishing the length, but it's displacing weight from the edge of that cut line at the same time, and again, removing that weight. So I don't have a collection or a bulk of weight in there. Now from here, I've got the left side and the right side done. I'm gonna take everything 90 to over direct. All right, so profile section in the back. I'm gonna stand at 6 o'clock, combing all this hair straight out at 90 degrees. 180 would be right here. I was debating. I'm gonna start with 90 first, and we're gonna cut from the inside out. So just grabbing random sections of hair, and again, cutting through to those ends. And this is going to remove any weight that's building up in the concave area of the back of his head. So there we go, pulling it through. Drop that back in, see what happens. So see how I've got these little hairs tailored just a slight bit higher now than the base of the haircut? Over the ear here, everything is being over-directed back, which from the close-up cam, that's almost perfect because you can see all of this stretching from here all the way back to here, and I'm standing in the center of the back of his head. All right, so we're gonna turn Luca to the side here, and I'm gonna start working the perimeter around from the back of the ear over his forehead now. And again, we're keeping the square shape to the entire haircut from the perimeter to the layers internally. And so everything, just kind of looking at building it at the same time to natural fall. So combing it straight down how he would wear his hair. As we can see, we've got this decrease of length that moves up around the face. I think that's rad. I'll keep that same vibe, but I want to keep this corner behind the back of his ear just to fill in this weighted area right in through here. So one thing I'm noticing, and I just was talking out loud about it, so yeah, his fringe shrinks up to about his eye here, but you can see when I pull this down, it's down around his nose or his lips. So that is gonna shrink up. I wanna be really careful to keep that long, because if he does wear it over his forehead, I want him to have that sort of heavier fringe in general. I think that's part of our Timothy vibe. I remembered his name, dude. Oh God, I'm crushing now. All right, let's keep the same thing going now on this right-hand side here. So just minor trim. All right, so I'm gonna take this entire perimeter on the right side now, over direct this 90 from that sloping halo, gonna comb it straight out, and then any of the ends right in through here, just like we did 90 to over direct in the back, I'm gonna build out shorter lengths on the surface of this section, which just bevels the edge, and it starts to build the stack of layering across the baseline here. So now the surface of this section is gonna be slightly shorter than the length underneath that section there, and that's gonna start to blend the layers to the length of the haircut, period. And it bevels that edge just slightly, so there's less weight in it, and it looks a little less boxy. And the whole idea of this haircut, I'm gonna say it, is to kind of look like it wasn't cut. So it's sort of like a messier haircut, almost kind of like your dad cut it. And he had no idea what he was doing, but I know what I'm doing, and that will make it more sustainable if we follow some sense of instruction. So I'm gonna come this way now, combing everything teed apart again, 90 degrees straight out from sloping halo. And I'm gonna start working the back now. So in the back here, I'm gonna take my clips, clip this bottom portion down just to not influence that with the surface layer here. And we're gonna take a profile section, dissecting additional length from the left side there, additional length from the right side here. And we're gonna start with that profile section. And I said I was gonna get into vertical flat layers, so let me share with you exactly what that is. All right, cool. So now that we've got to move to the side, everything is gonna comb straight out from this section, but the surface of this section is gonna be parallel to the ground. So as soon as I get that section parallel to the ground, that is the aspect of the flat layers. Vertical, as in the section itself, is vertical. Combing this straight down, and we're gonna build a square line to the head shape here. So everything stays the same length as I move from top to the bottom here. This is gonna take any graduation out of this section here. And I wouldn't say it's deep point cutting, but it is point cutting. And just removing any additional length in there. Visiting that section. Section 1 is done. I'm gonna take a slight diagonal forward section in my second section. We've got a traveling guide now, so we're gonna grab a little bit of the previous section here, comb the area that we've just cut, and this is my second section here. So slight diagonal forward, continuing to use vertical flat layers. And now, since I went through that other section a couple times, you can really see how much we're taking out of the center of the back of the head. So I've almost got an inch right around the occipital bone here, maybe a bit plus. And what that's gonna do is flatten this whole area here. So when this drops down, he's not gonna get that puffiness at the base of his haircut. All right, my friends, so I've got this left side done inside the sloping halo, and you can see that we've really edited out all that additional bulk and weight in there. And this is the contrasting side. So I haven't cut this side yet, but look at all that length down there. So all of this, when it curls up, that's what was making that area down there sort of more bulky, and we're going for this flatter sort of vibe. So I'm gonna turn you to a profile. There you go, you can see all of this right in here now versus all of that right there. So that's exactly what we're doing in this haircut right now. So once again, vertical flat layers. So real quick, my friends, I'm working on the right side of the back of the head. Fingers are towards the ground on this side, my elbows above his head, and really looking at my fingers being perpendicular to my forearm here. And then same thing, every section hereafter stays on base. Now, one of the things I was talking to Luca about is that when his hair is clean, as he already knows, so I was probably reiterating what he already knows, his hair is going to be fuzzier and frizzier. So I said we were going to take him over to the shampoo bowl to wash him. We didn't actually wash him, we just wet it down. He washed his hair on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, so 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And a little bit of that natural oil that's coming from the scalp is going to help to laminate the edge of his hair. And what we do know about heavier formation curls, or just heavier formations period, is the outside of the hair has more irregularities in it. The cuticle is less taut, it's less flat. So anything that we can build up across the circumference of the hair strand is going to allow the hair to be smoother, and neighboring hairs are going to lie closer together, and we're going to have less frizz. So in general, yeah, a little bit of day 2, day 3, day 4 on hair texture like this is going to smooth the hair out a little bit, not decrease the intensity of the curl, but decrease the intensity of frizz. And so, yeah, with that said, second section on the right side, fingertips towards the ground, continuing to point cut all the way through, looking for a square, flat cut line here. So perpendicular to the ground, my hand, my wrist, my fingers, the actual build of that line as well. And then I've got 2 more sections here in the back. All right, last section here, staying on base, right at the back of the radial, continuing to build my vertical flat layers. The surface of that section on the top there is parallel to the ground, and we're cutting a flat line from top to bottom to top, I should say, in this case. So again, we've just decreased all that bulk in here. All that weight now is gone. If you look at them from a profile here, you can see all of this is flatter right in through here. So it's square, it's a squarer shape, a flatter shape in general. I was thinking I was gonna do over direction right behind the back of the ear. I stayed on base. So yeah, just kind of working with the hair to see what was gonna complement it the most. And now I'm gonna start to work out, let's see, I'm gonna start to work out the left front side here. All right, so continuing to work on my layers right now. Again, I wanna keep everything flat. I wanna keep everything square. If I could sort of think about it in this sense, if I put a box over his head, the shape of the box, in essence, is how we're cutting the hair. I've got the flatness across the top of every single section, and we're cutting it square, straight up and down. Some of the haircut was done cutting from the inside out. Now internally with the layers, I've been cutting everything from the outside in with deep point cutting. So varying where that cut line is with slight zigzag or a serrated edge, which just displaces weight. What I don't want to use in his hair is a razor, because that will displace so much weight that the ends will start to get kind of fuzzy. So I'm displacing weight, yet at the same time, not so much that the ends are going to be frizzy. And that said, we're going to continue the same pattern up towards the top. I'll have 3 sections in the top here, slight diagonal forward, drop that down, using the previous section, which in this case is behind the back of the radial, as a guide to length. Fingers are perpendicular to the ground, deep point cutting this through. And again, you can see how much additional length that we have towards the base of these sections. All of that is what was making his hair boxier at the bottom. So all right, so same exact thing on the second side here. Mapping through it, diagonal forward, clipping that hair out of the way, grabbing the previously cut here. Loving it. It's legit. I think everything is going exactly as planned. Matter of fact, I think it's even going better. I got it a lot flatter than I wanted to. I am going to cut the top now, so everything from the parietal ridge up, right through the center of the top of the head, and just I'm going to cut that square as well. So everything's going to be a flat line. It's perpendicular. Back to what I was saying earlier about, like, it's a box shape. So if we think about a box, the sides are straight, the back is straight, the top of that surface is flat. In the bottom of the back, again, we had a little smiley face in through there, so I leveled out that middle bit, and right behind the rear recession, behind both sides of the ears, you know, we left that length there. So again, even that's more of a square shape. So through the center of the top here, obviously I've had super loose tension. I wouldn't be using a wide tooth comb if I didn't want loose tension. I'd use tighter teeth or teeth that are closer together if I wanted more of a taut section. So allowing for the curl patterns to kind of fall into place. Again, less pulling. I'm holding the hair, but again, just less tension altogether. I'm gonna take everything now and using a hinging technique in the back, so where that length was left at the back of the radial, that's gonna be my guide to length, and I'm gonna cut flat from there towards the front of his hairline. So combing that straight up, you can see that's where my length is that I left off, and so I'm gonna build it from there towards the top. All right, so from where we left off, right here, we're gonna build it from there towards the front. Flat line, it's gonna be parallel to the ground. We're gonna continue to point cut through. But starting on the left, I'm gonna stand on the right side of his head, and all of this, and I'll turn him in just a second here, but all of this is gonna be over-directed back to the profile. So you can see everything from here is coming back towards the center, which is just gonna leave a little bit of additional length at the parietal ridge. Combing that straight up, we're gonna build the line square from there. Building the concave layering on the top of the head, again, it's just gonna elongate the sides there at the parietal ridge. And so when this starts to fall over his head, he's just gonna have a little bit more weight right in the corners between the top and the sides. And that, again, is just gonna allow him to just keep that flatter look. It's gonna allow less sort of bulkiness. All right, good. So we've finished the haircut now. I may dial things in just a little tiny bit when I'm done with the blow dry. I am gonna diffuse his hair, all right, curl cream. So I'm gonna use the Statement Curl Cream in his hair. In fact, let's just put it in right now. A liberal amount is good. I'm really pressing it through the hair. The wetter his hair is and the more of the product I use, the less fuzzy it's gonna be. I want his hair to almost kind of just look like he hadn't washed it in a couple weeks. Like it's just kind of gritty, it's dirty, it's kind of thrashed, it's kind of messy. As I pull through it, I'm going to kind of straighten it as I'm working the product in, and then I'll dry it. And of course the hair is gonna shrink back up, but I'm gonna start off with it just a little bit straighter, let it turn into curly. But let's take it into the blow dry. See you on the other side of this. All right, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you got a lot from this haircut. We are going to take some after photos. I'll give you a 360 of his haircut all together. I got the hair about maybe 90% dry. I was thinking like 80, 85. I was able to get it drier because it wasn't frizzing out as much. I just threw a little bit more of the curl cream through. I will definitely put the link for what that product is so that you can check it out as well. But until the next video, you guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can get notifications of all of our future haircuts to come. Luca, you're the man. Thanks, bro.